Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of Joe Boo's day job. And I'm here at the Red Brick House. It's Sunday morning. It's going to be a great day. It's actually a little bit cooler today. We had a lot of rain that came through last night. It's going to get into the mid-80s, and hopefully we won't get too much rain. Hopefully today will be a better day. Yesterday we got here kind of late, and it was just hard to get going. I just could not seem to get everything together, but hopefully today will be a better day, and we're going to see how far we get. I've already gotten out my miter saw, the table saw. I'm going to do a little bit of work up on getting, using up the materials that I have right here, trying to get them out of the way. That's the wood that I need to do the door frames upstairs in the bedroom and the bathroom closet, as well as the door frames, window frames. So we'll work on that. Maybe I'll get up to working on the stairwell. Actually, let's go on inside. A couple things. I brought some of the antique heart pine that we reclaimed. I'm gonna make the filler pieces. I'll glue those up to fill in here to block the plywood face and stuff on there. I'll glue that up so that way I can work on that later on. I have the other shelf that's over here. It's so nice to have plenty of lighting in here. I just love it. So what we figured we're going to do, because we've got these supports, we actually have 6 of these. The way the studs worked out, there's one of course here, there's another one right here every 16 inches. This one is not like in the best location. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a corner piece of the wood, basically to be able to screw into the studs. We'll take this one out, and then we put another shelf in here. We're going to take a look at it and see how it looks having 2, and see if we want to do the third one as the bridge to carry all the way across. But do like this effect. This is like the farmhouse effect where you have things open. More than likely we'll keep glasses in this cabinet right here. Of course the dishwasher will be there. So that's one of the things I'd like to go ahead and get done. And I need to actually start gluing the final glue up here on the countertop. So that way it's all one piece, so we can start actually doing the finish on it. So we'll be working on that kind of stuff. And like I said, if I use up this wood, get it out of the way, get it up in place, I think I'm going to take the table and move everything on this wall. Last night I started the process of wetting down the walls. You can see this has got still a little bit of moisture in here, but what we have to do is we're going to have to clean off and get off all this excess paint that's loose and stuff in the plaster that's bad, and continue to wet it. You can see where that's dry, and you can see where that's got a little moisture in it. So maybe tomorrow we'll be able to actually start plastering this up and getting that looking better. Another thing I would love to get back into and doing here is getting the ceiling sanded out. We had started the process, of course, of doing that before, and it's one of those things, holding that sander for any length of time on the ceiling gets to be kind of wearing out your arms. You know, at 57 years old, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and some of these things wear you out. We did get a couple things at least done yesterday. Here's where we have our post right here. We're going to put a couple more fasteners in it to tighten it up to make sure it's real good and strong. I'm going to sand this down to the wood. I have the balusters that are up here. They're going to be black, so I'm going to paint those black today, and I want to have this wood sanded out so that way when we varnish the floor and we do the floor, we don't have to worry about sanding around the balusters. So that's another one of those things that I want to do. I need to continue to wet down the walls over here so that way we'll be able to plaster. I probably won't get to saving this brick, but last time we were here you could see where we went through and cleaned out some of the brick in here and started fixing the plaster. I love the effect on here. It'll look great throughout the rest of that. Generally just clean up in here some more. I still have a lot of the plaster on the floor and things. And here's where the insulation will get used up for the ductwork downstairs. Got to see if I can use this door for here. I do need to get a sheet of plywood, drywall, so we can drywall that closed. But we did at least get our cabinet in last night. Now this is where I was saying that I've got to do the door jambs. Go ahead and make the moldings and stuff for that. I'm going to build the door back in my workshop, sand out around that, touch up the paint, get the light globes and stuff on there. And I have to adjust the drawer that needs to go in there. And of course, trim out the windows. All these little things like trimming out the windows, sanding the drywall and stuff, and touching up the paint are the finishing things that are going to make all the difference in the world when you're getting this place together. So that's some of the stuff that I'm going to be working on. My brother will be working on the ductwork up underneath the house and getting it set up to get that unit running. So before we go back, he's going to have that unit in the basement working, and then we can get that inspected and start really putting this thing to bed. I know once I get this corner with the plaster on there, that's going to really make that start to look really nice. I'm also going to need to take the plaster off of this side of the brick so we can finish it out. And at some point, finish boxing in the insulation up in here. But, oh, the other thing too, these boards we had from the closet, we do have a floor outlet that's going to go in here, and you can see that these boards here are loose. We'll start the process of taking these up at some point and relaying them so that way they're nice and snug in here on the floor. Get that floor outlet and stuff cut into it, so that way we'll have the power over there. It ties into this one so we could get the power working from there. And that's about what we've got today on tap. We'll see how far we actually get. You know, there is what you hope to get accomplished, and then there's what you actually do get accomplished. And we'll see how much of the two we get done. All right. Is there anything else? I guess there's nothing else but to do to get to it. Whew. Yeah. So much to do. Well, I can say this morning is starting off better than yesterday's was going. So we've got this window already trimmed out. I think that looks, you know, every time you do something, it just makes it look that much better. So now I'm going to get over here, get this one trimmed out. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the door frame done over here as well. I think I have enough wood for that. But before I do, I'm going to take my sander and I'm going to sand the floor around there because it'll be easy to do it before we put the wood framing in. So that's trying to think a little bit ahead to make life a little bit easier for us.